In a grim end to a notorious chapter, Theodore "Ted" Kaczynski, the enigmatic mastermind behind a 17-year bombing campaign that struck fear into the nation, has passed away at the age of 81. Known as the Unabomber, Kaczynski's life took a twisted turn when he retreated to a ramshackle shack in the untamed Montana wilderness. From there, he orchestrated a reign of terror that claimed 3 lives and injured 23 others. The news of Kaczynski's demise came from Christy Brashears, spokesperson for the Federal Bureau of Prisons, who revealed that he was found unresponsive in his cell at the Federal Prison Medical Center in Butner, North Carolina. The cause of death remains a mystery for now, leaving us with unanswered questions about the final moments of this infamous figure. For 17 long years, Kaczynski's malevolent campaign rattled universities and airlines, forever altering the way Americans sent packages and boarded planes. In July 1995, his homemade bombs caused such panic that air travel on the West Coast ground to a halt. The country held its breath, wondering when and where he would strike next. Yet, amidst the chaos, there was a moment that exposed the inner workings of the Unabomber's mind. In September 1995, he forced the Washington Post and the New York Times to make a weighty decision: publish his sprawling 35,000-word manifesto titled Industrial Society and Its Future. In it, he espoused his beliefs that modern society and technology were eroding our sense of power and connection. Little did he know that this act of coercion would ultimately lead to his downfall. It was Kaczynski's own family who recognized the telltale tone of his manifesto and alerted the FBI, igniting the longest and costliest manhunt in American history. After years of eluding capture, he was finally found in a small, crudely constructed cabin in the Montana wilderness. Inside, authorities discovered a trove of journals, a coded diary, explosive ingredients, and 2 completed bombs. The veil of mystery that had shrouded him for so long was finally lifted. But as the truth emerged, Kaczynski's image transformed. Once likened to legendary figures like Daniel Boone, Edward Abbey, and Henry David Thoreau, he now appeared more as a pitiful loner than a romantic anti-hero. His own journals revealed a vengeful hermit driven by petty grievances, not a committed revolutionary seeking a grand cause. During his trial, a psychiatrist diagnosed Kaczynski as a paranoid schizophrenic, painting a portrait of a man haunted by delusions of persecution. He detested the notion of being labeled mentally ill, going so far as to attempt suicide when his lawyers attempted to present an insanity defense. In the end, he pleaded guilty, refusing to let his defense team proceed with a strategy he vehemently rejected. There's no denying Kaczynski's brilliance, though. A prodigious mind, he had skipped 2 grades to attend Harvard at the young age of 16 and had even published papers in prestigious mathematics journals. His bombs were meticulously crafted and cleverly concealed in handcrafted wooden boxes, leaving behind minimal evidence. Each device bore the signature FC, an acronym for Freedom Club. The Unabomber moniker was bestowed upon him by the FBI due to his early targets, which predominantly included universities and airlines. One of his bombs, triggered by altitude, successfully detonated aboard an American Airlines flight in 1979, causing smoke inhalation injuries to a dozen passengers. In his deadly campaign, Kaczynski claimed the lives of Hugh Scruton, Thomas Mosser, and Gilbert Murray, while inflicting life-altering injuries on others like Charles Epstein and David Galernter. Mosser, a computer rental store owner, met his tragic fate on a day that was meant to be spent joyfully selecting a Christmas tree with his family. The heartbreaking memory of finding him grievously wounded by a barrage of razor blades, pipes, and nails still haunts his wife, Susan. During 1995, as the Unabomber escalated his attacks and sent threatening letters to newspapers and scientists, speculation arose that he was motivated by envy, as he sought to rival the attention garnered by Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh. Chaos erupted when he issued a threat to blow up a plane departing from Los Angeles, leading to widespread disruption in air travel and mail delivery. The prank claim that followed did little to alleviate the fear he had instilled. It was the decision to publish his manifesto, prompted by federal authorities' insistence, that would ultimately seal Kaczynski's fate. His sister-in-law, Linda Patrick, had an uneasy feeling even before encountering the treatise. Eventually, she convinced her husband, David Kaczynski, to read it. After months of deliberation, they turned to Susan Swanson, a childhood friend and private investigator, who, in turn, handed the letters to Clint Van Zandt, a former FBI behavior science expert. The experts believed that the same author penned both the manifesto and the earlier letters, linking them to the Unabomber. For David Kaczynski, the revelation was nothing short of a nightmare. He had once idolized his older brother, but now he was confronted with the shocking reality that he may be the most wanted man in America. The decision to come forward with this information weighed heavily on him, but it was an act that ultimately helped bring an end to the Unabomber's reign of terror. Born on May 22, 1942, in Chicago to second-generation Polish Catholic parents, Ted Kaczynski showed signs of peculiar behavior early on. In high school, he astounded classmates with a mini-bomb he constructed, which detonated during a chemistry class demonstration. At Harvard, he was remembered as a lonesome, gaunt figure with questionable personal hygiene, living in a room permeated with the scent of spoiled milk, decaying food, and foot powder. After pursuing graduate studies at the University of Michigan, Kaczynski briefly taught math at the University of California, Berkeley, before abruptly quitting. In 1971, he acquired a small plot of land in Lincoln, Montana, where he built a primitive cabin devoid of modern conveniences. With limited means, he cultivated survival skills, living off a meager budget of a few $100s per year. Although he briefly left his Montana cabin to work alongside his father and brother at a foam rubber products manufacturer outside Chicago, his employment was short-lived. A failed romantic encounter led him to post derogatory limericks about his female supervisor, an act that led to his dismissal. Ted Kaczynski, rejected and bitter, retreated once again into the wilderness, consumed by a growing desire for vengeance. The story of Theodore Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, is a chilling reminder of the depths to which the human mind can descend. His life was a twisted symphony of brilliance and madness, leaving behind a legacy marred by destruction and suffering. As the chapter closes on his life, we are left with a mix of fascination, repulsion, and an enduring question. What compels someone to walk such a dark path? Thank you for watching and see you next time.